A cartoon joked about the future, and years later, the future started looking exactly like the joke. For decades, people have said one thing about The Simpsons. They predicted it. For years, The Simpsons made impossible scenes look funny. Famous people in strange places, technology that looked too early, secrets everyone laughed at. Most of those jokes disappeared. But a few came back years later, looking strangely real. And every time it happened, the internet asked the same question. Did the writers somehow guess the future? Or did they understand the world before the rest of us did? Then came the prediction that changed everything: Donald Trump. In the year 2000, The Simpsons aired an episode called Bart to the Future. In that episode, Lisa Simpson becomes President of the United States. And during a meeting, she talks about inheriting problems from President Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
At the time, it sounded ridiculous. Trump was famous. He was loud. He was already part of American pop culture. But the idea of him actually becoming president? Most people laughed at it. Then, years later, Donald Trump became President of the United States. And suddenly, that old scene was everywhere. People did not watch it like comedy anymore. They watched it like evidence. This was the moment The Simpsons prediction mystery became bigger than the show itself. Because after Trump, people stopped asking if it was possible. They started asking, what else did they show us? The next one did not happen in politics. It happened on a stage. In 2012, The Simpsons showed Lady Gaga performing in Springfield. She was suspended in the air, floating above the crowd, wearing a dramatic outfit. It looked like a wild cartoon version of a pop concert. Then in 2017, Lady Gaga performed at the Super Bowl halftime show, and fans noticed something strange. The real performance looked familiar. The wires, the entrance, the movement above the crowd. Suddenly, people placed the cartoon scene next to the real performance. And once again, the question returned. Was it just a celebrity joke? Or did The Simpsons show the future before the stage was even built? But then there is one prediction that feels different, because this one did not just come true. People made it come true. In 1996, The Simpsons made a random joke about Cypress Hill performing with the London Symphony Orchestra, a hip-hop group, a classical orchestra. A combination that sounded so strange. That was the joke. For years, fans remembered it as one of those weird Simpsons moments. Then, decades later, Cypress Hill actually performed with the London Symphony Orchestra. The cartoon joke became a real concert. And that makes this one even stranger, because maybe The Simpsons did not predict this future. Maybe it planted the idea. Maybe the joke survived for so long that reality eventually followed it. Then came the joke that felt darker with time. In the Simpsons movie, the NSA is shown secretly listening to people's conversations. At the time, it felt like simple comedy. The government is listening. Everyone is being watched. A big, exaggerated cartoon joke. But years later, after real surveillance leaks came out, that scene felt different. People watched it again, and suddenly, the joke did not feel so ridiculous. It felt too close. Now, government surveillance was not a new idea. People had joked about it before. Movies had used it. Conspiracy theories had talked about it. But after the leaks, the Simpsons scene became part of the pattern. Another moment where the cartoon seemed to touch something real before the world was ready to take it seriously. And once people believed in the pattern, they started finding more clips. Some were small, some were disturbing. One of the strangest was a Nobel Prize detail. In one episode, a character picks Bengt Holmstrom for a Nobel Prize. Most viewers probably missed it. It was just a background joke, but years later, Holmstrom actually won. Then there was the tiger attack. The Simpsons once showed Las Vegas-style performers being attacked by a white tiger. At the time, it was cartoon exaggeration. But years later, Roy Horn was attacked by a tiger during a real performance. He survived, but the moment changed everything. And when fans saw the Simpsons scene again, it did not feel funny anymore. It felt uncomfortable, because now the list was too long to ignore. Trump, Lady Gaga, Cypress Hill, NSA, Nobel Prize, Tiger Attack. Some were stronger than others. Some were only similar. Some were probably coincidence. But together, they created the legend. The first clip is the kind that spreads fast. A football stadium. A World Cup-style match. Fans online connected it to Cristiano Ronaldo. Some posts claimed the Simpsons had predicted a future football moment before it happened. And because Ronaldo is one of the biggest names on earth, people clicked, people shared, people believed. But when you look closer, this one becomes more complicated. The clip does not clearly name Ronaldo. It does not perfectly show the exact future event. And that is what makes it important, because not every Simpsons prediction is clean. Some are real, some are stretched, some are created by the internet after the fact. But once the pattern is already in people's minds, even a loose connection can feel like proof. And that is where the real mystery begins. Not with whether one football clip predicted Ronaldo, but with why millions of people were ready to believe it. So did The Simpsons really predict the future? Or did something else happen? Maybe the answer is not time travel. Maybe it is not magic. Maybe it is not some secret message hidden inside a cartoon. The Simpsons simply understood the world better than most people did. It understood fame, politics, technology, celebrities, and how ridiculous reality could become. And maybe that is why so many jokes started feeling real years later, because comedy exaggerates the world, but sometimes the world catches up to the exaggeration. Maybe it created a joke so memorable that reality eventually copied it. So imagine if The Simpsons was never seeing the future, but the future was already there, hidden in fame, hidden in technology, hidden in politics, hidden in the things people were slowly becoming. The writers just noticed it first and turned it into a joke. Then years later, we finally understood the punchline. But the real question is this: if The Simpsons already showed us this much, what joke are we laughing at today that might come true tomorrow?